Ah, hello. Hey. Hi, guys. Just doing some pre-stream grocery shopping. Yes. It's Publix Day. What's going on, everybody? Tuesday. Actually, I probably wouldn't have, but a lot of people voted on it. It seems like stream keeps cutting out, or is that on my end? Mine too. It's the stream. Oh, okay. So I'm not sure. Hopefully, whatever is going on with the stream gets sorted out. I don't. There's nothing showing on my end. Let me. Oh no, it should be fine. So hopefully the stream will sort itself out for us. Sorry about that. I don't really. I'm not seeing anything that would be causing issues, but one never knows. So good again. Okay. All right. Well, hopefully that won't be a persistent issue. But all right, so we got some polycaps. We'll have those on deck. And I think we start off building the legs. Yeah. So it's got to have legs in order to stand. So we'll build these first. And I'll do my best, even though, like, most of the parts are, like, decently sized. There are, like, with this kit, some really small parts. So it's essentially kind of like my third time building this kit, because I built the regular version and the Guns of the Patriots version, like the damaged version. But yeah, there's some really, really small parts. I'm going to have to do my best to make sure nothing falls on the floor and gets lost. But obviously with it being sort of like bipedal, since it doesn't have arms, there's a lot going on with the legs of this build. What's going on? Yes, Rick and Rosalius. What's going on, everybody? So, question for you guys: have any of you guys built either this kit or other different versions of the Rex or any of the Kotobukiya Metal Gear kits? And what's your guys' impression then of them? As a Metal Gear fan, I really enjoy them. Like, honestly though, I guess like if you were not like a Metal Gear fan for whatever reason, I suppose probably wouldn't be too much incentive to buy them. It's kind of one of those things. Like, even I feel like for Gundam, for example, you hear like a lot about people that are maybe like into mecha modeling or whatever, and they try out Gundam model kits just because they're so prolific and there's so many of them and it's such like a big thing. So even though you'll get people who have like never watched any Gundam series at all, they have no exposure to like Gundam as a franchise at all, but they'll try building Gundam model kits. This one I feel like is one of those that I think you'd have a harder time getting someone to pick up one of these kits if they were not like into Metal Gear, right? You guys agree with that? What do you think? Really cool kits. I mean, very nicely detailed and everything. Wish they were a bigger scale. Yeah, actually, Hisaki, I was actually on the hunt. I didn't do too much hunting yet, I will say, although like I just kind of started searching for if there was like anybody that makes like 3D print files for like a 1/35th scale version of the Metal Gear Rex, and it looks like there maybe is, although I need to do some more searching. But it'd be really cool, yeah, to find like yes. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Thank you. Make sure it doesn't fall off and spill everywhere. That's fine. Just drop it on the floor somewhere. Thank you. All right. But yeah, it would be cool to get like a 1/35th scale like Rex that's like 3D printed. It'd be very big, but it'd be a fun project for sure. It'd be cool. Adam was just dropping off for me our giveaway prize for the live stream this Friday, so make sure to look out for that. I'm not into Metal Gear Solid, but I like the Rex. Double Down says, so there you go. I mean, I guess can't speak for everybody, but it definitely is one of those. I feel like if you weren't into Metal Gear, it's maybe not necessarily something that you really would be looking for, right? All right. So, how's everybody doing today? Did you guys check out the review of the Epion? I want to know. Hopefully, you guys have had a chance to do that. If not, feel free to check that out afterwards, or you can go watch that review and come back, and you'd miss maybe me building the first of the 2 legs. I think probably not. You would miss too much more of this build other than that. So this is one of those kind of tricky parts to get it pressed in there all the way. There we go. But okay. Yeah, Epion was really cool. Let's see, where's the other half of this part? The next review, which is going up this evening. Where's the other half of this part? Okay, there it is. Review the MG guy? No, I don't have it, and don't have any plans to get one. Sorry, but the next review that's going up today, I know you guys will be very excited to know, is the Durga 1 Frame Arms Girl. It's really nice. If you guys are Mecha Musume model kit fans, highly recommend it. Actually, really liked it. So, it's been out for a little while, and we now have like other different versions of that out even since then, but I've just been kind of behind on the Frame Arms Girls. So, but finally got that one built up and reviewed. It's really nice. That's for today. Tomorrow probably won't be anything, just because Thunderjaw's Motoroid, yeah, that's also coming out. How is the wife and such doing, Zach? Well, Mike, I was just about to go there, sort of. More so just to talk about my son. Tomorrow's my son's birthday, so probably won't be any video tomorrow, as I'll be doing birthday party fun stuff with him. As for my wife, there's not really too much I can kind of say at the moment as far as like an update on her situation. She did have her surgery, but as far as like the treatment going forward, it's still not entirely sure on that. So I'm just kind of waiting on some more testing and stuff that they're doing now to kind of get the word on that, what else like still needs to be done. So yeah, my wife is still in Korea at the moment for that, so it's just me and the kiddos. So of course nobody's really happy about the fact that she's missing our son's birthday, but you know, it is what it is. We're having her focus on her health, right? So that's important, getting that taken care of, and then coming back after that as soon as possible. Yes. Happy birthday. Thank you, guys. How many Kotobukiya MG Rex have been released so far? There's 3 different versions of the Rex. There's the original, the black version, and I think the Metal Gear Solid 4 Guns of the Patriots version is the most recent. I think the black one was the second one released, if I remember correctly. But yeah, there's 3 in total. And then there's also the there is, hang on. Ooh. There we go. There's the Metal Gear Ray, which interestingly, I don't think there's been any other version of the Ray other than just the original version. But there's the Metal Gear Ray, and there's also the Sahelanthropus, and there's a black version of the Sahelanthropus as well. I don't think there's any black version of the Ray, is there? Interestingly. What's your top 10 wishlist model kits that have not been made so far? Oh, it'd be hard for me to, like, I mean, I guess not that hard. I mean, I can rattle off a couple of them. They're definitely not ranked or anything like that, though, so I can't, like, give you like a top 10, although I could just like say a few that come to mind, though in all honesty, probably you'd be just as well off to just check out the video that I did just a couple of days ago talking about like possible future RE100 kits, because a lot of the kits honestly that I would want are off that list. But yeah, like for example, the Siskade would be one for sure. The Rosenzulu. Let's see. That would definitely be one. That said, there is also inclusions on that list that would not be in my top, like on my personal wish list. So like the Methus, for example. I'm just not really a fan of the design. The Palace Athene, though, definitely. Would love a Palace Athene kit. Hopefully we'll get one at some point in 1/100 scale, whether it be MG or RE. Probably, if anything, I think RE makes a lot more sense, but I mean, without knowing kind of what's going on with the current state of RE, it's kind of hard to say. If anything, is going to be coming out in the line. So it is all just kind of a little bit wishful thinking at the moment, but yeah. There's there's a lot of really cool stuff. The Vertigo from Gundam X is one that I thought would make for a cool kit. Probably an HG for that one, I think would make a lot more sense. But as a full mechanics kit, maybe, yeah. If Bandai would show Gundam X some love in the full mechanics line, I think would make sense. We really don't have too many model kits from Gundam X, period, in master grade, high grade, or anything else. We have like a couple HGs, a couple MGs, like literally just a couple. It's just the X and the double X in MG form. I mean, so I don't really have the numbers in front of me or even access to the numbers, but if I had to guess, just based on how few Gundam X model kits have been released, I would say it's just not that popular a series, but it's a shame because there's some cool designs in there. Let me see. It'd be cool. Like Gundam X is not like one of my favorite shows, but I just think it's a. I remember, at least from when I watched it, I do remember enjoying it, and I think there's a lot of good opportunities there for some cool designs. So it would be nice to see in the future at some point Bandai do some more of those. As I mentioned, another one that I mentioned in the video that I would love to see would be a new 1/100 scale sumo. So either a master grade or an RE100 sumo. Someone actually is kind of interestingly brought up in the comments whether the sumo would be RE100 or full mechanics. And yeah, it's an interesting question just because like technically it's Universal Century, but like in the high grade model kits, actually Bandai considers the Turn A HGs or HGCC, so it's like HG current century, a correct century, and they have, I think if I remember correctly, the end of the box is silver instead of gold. So like for all the HGUC stuff, which is like actually from UC, it's usually gold, and for like the Seed and G Gundam and X and other series which are kind of a part of that line but not a part of UC, then they have like the silver label, and I think the Turne Gundam is silver label. So it's kind of interesting to think if they were made to make a 100 scale sumo, if it would be UC or full mechanics. I guess probably full mechanics, even though it's sort of technically UC. Zach is life. The what kit you want? Yeah, what kit you want question again. I know. I understand. It's just kind of something people like to ask about. That's fine. But, yep. Oh, sorry, I get... Yeah, the typo. I got it. Anyway, Sakiya. Yeah, that's fine. But yeah, considering I did just... oh, that's not right. Considering I did just the other day put out that video about what I think would make sense to be in the RE Will 100 line, there's a lot of my personal wish list on there as well, because there's just a lot of kits that I think there's good opportunity for. All right. Oof, very tight there. So just got a little bit left here of the first leg. Kind of almost done with this. It's kind of the last couple little bits, and then we can kind of put the different sections together. So it's like a few different sections of the leg that all come together at the end. Got little smoke launchers here on the side. So I want to make sure everything's all pressed together nice and firmly. Do you think they'll make an MG Nightingale? No way, not a chance. Not ever gonna happen. Nope. Nor are they gonna make an RG Nightingale either. I saw like after they made the RG Hainu, a bunch of people like thinking that they were gonna make an RG Nightingale to go along with it. Like, nope. There's no way that's happening. Sometimes I feel like I need to give the caveat, like people ask me to say, well, it's not likely, but it's possible. But as far as like an MG Nightingale or an RE Nightingale, I feel like there's just no way that's happening. Sorry to say but that's why I feel like that's a big reason why we got the HG Nightingales to go with the RG Hainu. So the fact that they made the HG Nightingale just kind of goes to show what they're not going to make, because they already made a 144 scale version. So they're not going to now go ahead and make another one, I think, in 144 scale of very large, complex, and somewhat obscure design, considering it's not appeared in like a major animation or anything like that. So sorry, I don't know what's like going on with my voice at the moment. Losing my voice a bit or something. Apologies. I didn't go to bed like terribly late last night, but for some reason, when I woke up this morning, it was like 6:30. It's like the normal time that I wake up. But it felt like 3 a.m. or something like that. It felt like I only slept for like 1 or 2 hours kind of thing. So it was really weird and very uncomfortable. Really did not want to get up. Damn. All right. Somewhere. Okay. Thought I had somewhere along the lines missed putting this part on here, but nope. Get that all nice and closed up there. That on there. Now we can put everything together. All right. There's that. And the knee. There we go. Hi from Singapore. Hey, Dewey. In Singapore. Yeah, RE100, the RE100 Nightingale. Yeah, it's a beast of a kit. Anyway, just to show you guys, here's our leg, all in black, looking very nice. Obviously, with this being all not like actually black, but all in all these dark colors and everything, you will have didn't want that. You will have to be really careful and look out for causing any undue stress marks on the plastic. Why is that foot not extending like it's supposed to? Oh. It is, but what's going on here? Hang on. I feel like the foot's supposed to extend more. I'm trying to figure out why it's not doing it. Maybe that's it. No. I have to see when I build the other leg. I feel like the foot is supposed to extend more, but for some reason it's not. I'm just wondering if I put something together wrong. But we'll see, I guess, in a moment. Maybe not. Maybe I have it right. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't extend as much as I was remembering it does. All right. Let's see. When's the RG Bondoc coming out? Yeah, it's another one. Perfect example of something that's not ever going to happen. I actually got that kit, but haven't gotten around to build it. Looking forward to how this turns out, Davo. Yeah. If you've not built any version of this kit before, you should put it together. It's a really, really nice kit. Part swapping slide. Okay. Oh no! For the foot to slide out, no, it's not the. You don't have to swap any parts. It should just slide out, and it does. It is moving. I just thought it should move a little bit more than that. I'm gonna see. Putting the second leg together here, we'll test it out and see if it's just something that I'm just not doing correctly. Who knows if we are getting a Nemo 3 in RE100 or MG? Still want that unit to round out the units on my shelf. A Nemo 3. I don't even know if I know what that looks like. Alright. Once we get all the little teeny tiny pieces, I think what I'm going to do this time, now that my memory is refreshed on how the leg goes together, what I'm going to do is put together a couple of these parts here that have like the really small parts, just to make sure that nothing gets lost. So far we're doing all right, but just want to make sure. And there should be, all right, there it is. One more of these little parts here. The RG Xiang feels like a passion project for Bandai. Yeah, that was a surprising release, but I mean, the fact that it's like Char's final mobile suit from like the final battle at the end of Gundam. I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense that Bandai made that. J and E. J is that one. It's a Gundam? No, it's not. Okay, now do Sahelanthropus. I have reviewed the Sahelanthropus. I don't remember if I live built that. I feel like I live built a different Metal Gear kit before, and I think it was the original, just like the regular Rex. So this is kind of like my second time live building this kit, essentially. But if I remember correctly, and I was gonna check, and I forgot to look it up, but I think I did do a live build of the regular Metal Gear Rex already, actually. Agree. I want to see the Sahelanthropus next. Well, I can only assume that, you know, Kotobukiya is going to continue their current trend of reprinting all of these kits. So, like, they started with the Rex and the Metal Gear Solid 4 Rex, and then the Ray, and now this kit, and then I think probably we'll see a reprint of the Sahelanthropus soon. And I was gonna say if they reprint the black version of the Sahelanthropus, maybe I'll live build that. But actually, I take that back because I actually have one at home, so I could just build the black Sahelanthropus that I have at home, couldn't I? So maybe, yeah, sure, I'll think about that. Maybe I'll do like a thing where you guys can. I don't know what it would be. So like a vote kind of thing or something. Okay, that's backwards. See, this should slide out like quite a bit, like that much movement, and that one's not doing it. So let's see. Let me get some more of this put together, and maybe it doesn't actually move out that much once it's actually put together. But like, yeah, so far it still does. Let's see, F. All right, I hope you'll do the Daisy Ogre. So far, I don't have any plans to do the Daisy Ogre. Sorry to say. I'm really just not into the design. So probably won't be doing that one, I think. Where's this other foot part? Man. That's all there. Here it is, right in front of me. All right. Ooh. Liquid, Solid Snake, and Cyborg Ninja stomped on. Yeah, the little character figures that it comes with. It comes with Liquid, Solid Snake standing, Liquid riding inside there, and actually two different versions of Cyborg Ninja. Two different versions of Gray Fox. One getting stepped on, and one just like standing. I can show this to you. You guys aren't really going to be able to see it all that well, but here you go. So this is Snake holding the bazooka, Gray Fox with his arm cut off, getting stepped on, Gray Fox standing, and then Liquid for in the cockpit. Yep. Okay. As the council leader, Sahelanthropus is next. The people have spoken. Well, I can tell you it definitely won't be next, but if you guys really want to see a live build of it, I'll certainly consider it. And I'll start a crowdfunding page. If you guys want to see it live built, you can donate. How's that sound? I think that's the most fair option for everyone involved, right? Everybody on board with that? Yeah? Cool. Okay. I think I maybe know. Nope. I think I maybe know what might be the problem with the sliding foot in the first leg, but let's see. Maybe not. I don't know. Still a little bit confused. But let's see. Really not seeing anything that should be a hindrance to the foot, so if there's not anything that's in its way, then it should work. It should be working fine. Fair. Do you have any info on the Gundam artifact kits being submitted to GBWC? No, I don't. Are there people submitting Gundam artifact kits? That's interesting. I haven't seen anything about it. What's going on with that? Is like Bandai saying no to those being like, yeah, see, look how far like this extends out. Should extend there and here. So I think that's what I'm doing wrong. Okay. This whole part, yeah. Yeah. Hang on. Let's see. Well, there's two parts that extend. The whole like lower part of the leg, and then the foot itself also extends slightly further out there like that. All right, we'll figure it out. Anyway, not sure if it's allowed because I saw the rules posted on Hobbytown, and it shows 50 centimeters minimum. Artifacts like 15 millimeters. It's not 15 millimeters. They're definitely but 50 centimeters. Oh, 50. Oh, shit. I think your numbers may be off there. But the minimum, I think you mean like 5 centimeters minimum, because that would be like that. And in that case, yeah, artifact might not work. It wouldn't like 50 centimeters is like that. I think that's the maximum. I think, right? Yeah, I think that's the maximum dimensions. So maybe you read it wrong, or I'm not sure. Anyway, that sounds like something's not right. I believe 50 centimeters is the max size. Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I think might be our problem. Could be these piston parts are just like really tight, maybe. I don't know. Let's see. It's gonna take a bit more investigation. Got this piece right here. So that should be part of the part that moves like that. And this whole bit, let me try just pushing it from the backside. This whole part should fucking slide. No, okay. Yeah, so that's like that. All right, so yeah, this whole, that's what it was. I was like trying to push on the wrong part. This whole part slides there. The middle of the leg, I thought this front, just the front part did for some reason. Anyway, so that whole part extends, and then the foot does extend a little bit in and out like that. Basically just not that much. Okay, anyway, so it really wasn't that much of a thing. All right, the size of the submitted work must be 50 centimeters by 50 centimeters. Yeah, so it's a 50 centimeter cube is the max dimensions. I've never heard of any minimum dimensions though for it. There might be, but I mean, the question would be more so if, because you have to use official Gunpla, And the question is if Bandai considers candy toys to be technically Gunpla or not. Because I think those are I think the artifact kits, even though they are model kits, I think they are considered candy toys. So that's the only thing where I think you might have an issue. It's an interesting question, though. Yeah, I'll. If you want to, well, shit, I don't know. I know someone at Bandai, although I don't know if he's involved with that and may not know the answer. But if you, Hasaki, if you're interested, like, because you want to submit one or something, whatever. If you're interested to know the answer, send me a message to remind me about it, and I'll ask the person that I know at Bandai about it, what he thinks. Because I don't think he used to be involved in GBWC here in the US. Now he has a different job at Bandai, but he still might know, or he might be able to give an answer on that. And especially with how GBWC went last year, where all kinds of stuff was getting disqualified. Yeah, if you're wanting to enter, better safe than sorry to know ahead of time. But then I feel like even if you do check ahead of time, there's no guarantee that you know for sure. I mean, you could still end up getting DQ'd for whatever reason. So it's kind of a risk you just have to take, I guess. All right, so hi, can you build a MGSD Barbatos? Yeah, I will when it comes out. I think it's not released yet, right? I think it's releasing later this month, I believe. But yeah, once I get it and have it here to live build, I definitely plan to live build that for sure. I really, really did enjoy the build of the other one, the Freedom. There we go. The MGSD Freedom. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. So definitely looking forward to the Barbatos. Let's see, it's there, and this one here. All right. Hi, I'm from Mexico. Thanks for the content. Hello to Mr. Evangelion in Mexico. You're welcome. Dream job to work for a hobby company like that. I mean, yes and no. I mean, if that's your dream, sure. I'm not going to tell you to not have that as your dream. I mean, it'd be like, depends on what your job actually is. I mean, it'd be like working for any other company. I mean, you could work for Bandai or any other company, whatever, and have a very boring, unexciting job, I feel like. But, just kind of depends on what you're doing day to day. There's probably very few jobs at a hobby company like that where you're really working, especially anything with hands-on working on model kits on a day-to-day basis. Okay. There we go. Wow. What do you think about the Freedom movie designs? Yeah, I don't know. I'm not too sold on them quite yet. A couple of them I like more than others. I will say that. The lead Gundam designs are probably the ones that I like the least so far. Like the new versions of the Freedom and Justice. Some of the enemy mobile suits are kind of cool. The Gelgu was like the one that like immediately stood out to me that I thought I was the most interested in, but I mean, I'm still looking forward to that one. Probably one of the most, more so than some of the others. But the Mandalorian looking ones, I think, are probably going to be the most interesting. They're pretty cool. I think I was gonna make this point earlier, and I got kind of sidetracked in the middle of talking about it. But yeah, with this being all in dark colors, you're gonna have to watch out for, if you're not planning to paint it, you're gonna have to watch out for like nub marks and stress marks and stuff like that, because they will, on that dark plastic, it'd be hard to avoid them. So here's our two legs, which are required to stand. So very important to have. I'm a financial analyst for a plastics manufacturing company, so I know a lot about cups. I would rather know a lot about the business of the kids. I mean, yeah, fair enough. Greetings from Australia. What's going on, JD? I've been to Australia, but mainly just in Tasmania. I spent about a month in Tasmania, so I don't really feel like I've truly been to Australia, because I feel like Tasmania is kind of like a different thing, sort of like traveling to Hawaii and saying that you've been to the US. Like, yeah, technically, and there's a lot of the same stuff there, but it's going to be kind of like different. Is that for you Aussies? Do you feel the same, JD? Do you feel the same about Tasmania? Like, yes, it's technically Australia, but kind of different. Have you tried using gun primer? Jake, I have used a couple of gun primer products. Basically just like the glass file set with like the glass file and the buffer and everything. And then also tried the stickers that are used for like tightening joints, whatever. I mean, yep. I don't know. I mean, just as I've also tried other different glass files, and they're all kind of pretty much the same for the most part. So there's kind of like, they're sort of like the glass file version of God Hands. Very unnecessarily expensive, in my opinion. Very kind of premium tool. That's just, if you want to spend that much for that particular tool, by all means. I probably wouldn't if it was me. Okay. All right. Building the head now is the next part. I should tell you guys. But finding the little pieces that I'm looking for is a whole other story here, so bear with me a moment. Can you also make MG Barbatos Rex? I mean, I can't make that, but it is very, very interesting why Bandai has not made any more MG IBO kits yet. I mean, we can only assume that they will at some point, but like the more time passes by, the more I'm just kind of wondering, like, I wonder if they are going to make any more MG IBO kits, because you would have thought so. And because, I mean, I don't know how the kit sold in Japan. I can assume it sold pretty well, because Bandai's reprinted it a lot. And like, especially here in the US, I know it's been really popular. I can only really speak for like here at USA Gundam Store, but I mean, like, I know it sells really well. So assuming that it's similar in Japan, it's pretty interesting that Bandai has not made any more MG IBO kits. At the very least, like the Barbatos Lupus or Lupus Rex, maybe. But Yeah, I don't know. Don't know what's going on with that. And I also don't know what's going on with this piece that I'm looking for, which is right here. There we go. All right. Any questions on disposable food and beverage items? Though I'm your guy. Okay. Yeah. Not really anything at the moment, but thank you for the heads up. If I do have something, I know who to ask. This right here is the inside of the head we build first. And one kind of cool thing is that I don't remember this about the regular Rex kit. The regular original Rex, I know it had, I'm gonna zoom in here so you can see what I'm talking about. This is pre-printed, this like metallic pink there for the glowing eyes. On the original kit, it's like metallic blue kind of color there. This one also has one here on the front as well. I don't remember if the original kit had that on the front. I thought it was just the like kind of eyes on the side. So I'm not sure about that. Any of you guys know for sure? Gotta head out. Good catching you, Zach. Hazaki, see you later. Let's see. Bandai threw all their money building that metaverse project and neglecting the MG crowd. I mean, kind of, yeah. But I mean, I think like one way to look at it, like from Bandai's perspective, is that a series like that will bring in new fans, and that's always what they're going to be trying to do, right? Because they think about it like this: they already make a ton of different kits. I mean, they don't make all the kits that they've ever made ever. I mean, they don't. They're not like how can I say this? Constantly printing them, right? All the kits that they've ever made are not always available, right? But they do reprint them from time to time, anyway. And I'm gonna leave liquid out of there for the moment. Actually, I'm just gonna leave the cockpit empty. But anyway, so, but Bandai makes a lot of kits already. Anyway, as in like the R&D is already done, and anytime they want to print the kit, they can. They just reprint it, right? So, I definitely wasn't talking to you, Siri. I wasn't talking to you. The R&D on the model kit is done, and you can only assume that they've already made up the cost for that kit, right? The cost of the R&D, they've made it up through the initial, first run or first couple runs or whatever. If it was a relatively popular kit, they probably make it up in the first run, and they probably plan for that. But even if it was like if it was like a kit that flopped and just didn't do well at all, then at least by maybe like the second run, they've probably made up the cost for it. So basically, anytime they want to reprint that kit, it's not it's not costing them more R&D to develop it. It's already developed, so they already have a lot of kits available that they can print whenever they choose to. And so bringing in new fans brings in more people that will want to buy kits that they already make, right? So like for us, and maybe not, I shouldn't say for everyone, but like for people who are like me, for example, who have already built a lot of what Bandai has made, and so like I'm more excited about looking forward to new stuff because I'm already very familiar with everything else that Bandai's already made. So I'm always really looking forward to what's coming out new, and a lot of people like you may also be in that same boat. But for new fans, if they're going to be coming into this new because they've seen Metaverse or whatever new series they've seen, they're not familiar with all this other stuff that Bandai makes, so they can buy up. Bandai's bringing in new fans who will buy all the stuff that they've already made, and Bandai didn't have to spend the money to produce new model kits for those new fans. There's already a lot of stuff available for them to buy. Does that make sense? Uh, so it's always, I think, in a from the business perspective, it makes more sense for Bandai to, at this point, just bring in new customers because they already make the products. So, kind of like, why spend money developing new products uh, when they can just bring in new fans to eat up the products that they already make, right? But of course, they're still going to be coming out with new stuff. I mean, like, just looking at some of the stuff that's coming out, I mean, like, there's some new stuff. But if that does make a little bit of sense, I think you kind of get what I mean by that. Camera's frozen? Oh, okay, that's fine. It's that time again. So just gonna do that, and I'm gonna do this. I'm just gonna switch the camera here for a moment. Don't know why that does that. Seems like at some point during every build, there comes a moment where that overhead camera will freeze. That's just the way it goes. I've just accepted it. So that's right? Okay. We got this one here. It has a little tiny notch in it. Goes like that. Don't really know why that really small part needs to be placed in there so specifically, but okay. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think it's like part of the neck joint. And this goes into the head here. Oh, yeah, okay. Okay, do you know Gundam shops? Sorry, I can't really answer that. It's a bit vague. Maybe not Korean food, but malatang is a different world. What's malatang? Since your family is Korean and you've spent many years in Korea, what are some Korean foods that you would suggest we try? I love food. Well, the problem would be getting the food here in America. Like, I could suggest you to things, but like if you're here in America, for example, or wherever you are in the world, if you're not in Korea, you might be able to find the food. That's the first problem. And then even if you are able to find the food, it may not be like very good. I mean, like, it has to be like, I don't know. If I'm suggesting it to you guys, then I'm suggesting it out of experience of having it in Korea. And you know, I can't vouch for what it might be like to have it in, you know, a local like Korean restaurant, which in my experience with a lot of like Korean restaurants here in the US, a lot of times they just end up being kind of more like fusion restaurants, just because understandably a lot of people are just not like really familiar with Korean food, so they have to kind of cater to people a bit. Okay. But let's see. I don't know what Brandon's talking about. Malatang. If it's something that ends with tang, it's probably a Korean food because that's usually like a soup or something. But I'm not sure I'm familiar with that unless like it's just like spelled differently or something. Or I'm not. You know, I've certainly eaten plenty of Korean food, but I'm sure there's lots of Korean foods that I'm just not as familiar with, or that like I've had and I know what it is if I see it in front of me, but I just don't know what the name of it is or something like that. For example, it could be the case, but I don't think that I'm familiar with that food. Let's see. I once had tongue buns out of a Korean food truck. I still remember how good it was 10 years later. What's tongue buns? I don't even know what that would be. Have you tried gamjatang? Yes, of course. Gamjatang, of course, I've had many, many times. It's very good, yes. Gamjatang is good. Uh, it is basically it's potato soup. I mean, literally translated, gamja is just potato. So, I mean, doesn't sound very exciting, but it is really good, yeah. Let's see. This is right. A tricky little detail part to get in there, but there you go. Gamjatang's good. Probably ori bulgogi is probably one of my favorite things to eat in Korea, which is just duck. It's just like a barbecue. So like if you guys have been to like Korean barbecue and had like samgyeopsal or something, where like you have like your grill in the middle of the table and you like just barbecue your meat on there. It's kind of like that, but it's duck meat instead. And it's usually mixed with like diced green onions and onions, I guess. And what else? I guess that's kind of it. But where do these parts go? Like that. Okay. Other than that, I don't know. It's a lot of great food, great Korean food. I live in a Korean Asian neighborhood, so the food near me is more authentic. Look out for places near Asian grocery stores. Yeah. Malangtang is originally a Chinese soup that was really popular in Korea for a while. So you have Korean version nowadays. It's orange colored. I lived in Ansong earlier this year. Had it a lot. Ansong. Let's see. Malangtang. Is that? I'm imagining it's. Let's see. Yeah, it's definitely not what I was thinking. I mean, like, kind of, but yeah. All right. So it's kind of like budejjigae, where it's just kind of like just a bunch of stuff in there together, basically. Mm. Yeah. All right. I've eaten Hyundai and Samsung. Does not taste good. Tastes a bit metallic. There you go. Will you ever be releasing a part 2 of your custom Marcosius? Yes, at some point, yes. And I've been thinking about that. I mean, it has been on my mind recently, so I will definitely get back to that at some point. So yeah, probably sooner than later. Hopefully, I have a couple of things kind of that I've really been meaning to get to, but I've just have not been able to catch up. I'm sorry to say, guys. It's just there's always something going on, especially in the last couple months recently, just in like my personal life. There's just been stuff going on. It's been very difficult to get ahead. So now that we've made like our kind of 3 main sections of the head, speaking of a head, here with this head, we can now start putting it together. And this is the little bit challenging part here, because you have to kind of fit these piston parts into here. And it's like they just very loosely fit onto here. Like once you get it all put together, it's fine. But whilst trying to do this, it can be kind of challenging. Here, and easier to try to just do one at a time. There you go, like that. This is probably the most difficult part of the build. So that little part needs to be inside there. They should have made the peg for this part longer, because there's just like, it just doesn't stay in there. It's so small that it just like doesn't stay in there on its own. But once you have it closed up, it works perfectly fine. It might be actually better to, maybe more difficult to do, but to put that in on that side first. Or is that going to work? I don't think so. Maybe. Let's see. Not quite. Come on, you. There we go. Whew. All right. We've been working up a sweat over here, getting that on there, but there we go. So then next, okay. Little steamed rice buns with cow tongue as the meat. Yeah, don't know if I've had that. Yeah. I don't know if I've had cow's tongue. I mean, I've had a lot of different stuff while living there, but I don't think that I've ever had cow's tongue, honestly. Had like cow's blood soup. They have this, like, you can just have this as just like a side dish as well, but you typically like most commonly come across it as in a soup, where they just like take the blood, and I don't know if it's like mixed with anything else in it, probably, but and they just turn the blood into kind of like a gelatin, sort of like tofu, but like the consistency of tofu, but it's cow's blood, if you can imagine that. It's like, and it's just like it's not like red in color, obviously, because, you know, it's like gone through whatever. It's like brown, really. But yeah, it's interesting. It doesn't like, it's not weird, it just doesn't really have much of a taste. It's the only kind of reason I don't really like it is just because, I don't know, it just doesn't like really taste like anything, and so there's just not really any good reason for me to eat it. It is a bit weird, and yeah. Let's see. Despite being a 25-year-old design, the Metal Gear Rex has aged exceptionally well. Kojima struck gold picking up Yoji Shinkawa. Yeah, for sure. It is such a really cool design. That, yeah, I mean, thinking back to like a lot of different designs, like mecha designs of that era, yeah, a lot of stuff does like ultimately end up looking quite dated. But yeah, certainly not so much the case in case of the Rex, huh? Other Metal Gear designs as well. Well, I should say, like the most commonly known ones, I guess, like the ones from the NES days have aged quite a bit more. But I guess it'd be the ones that were designed by Shinkawa are the ones that have stood the test of time very well. I don't know who designed the original one, because if I remember correctly, like it had something to do with like sharing parts from like a machining Krieger kit or something like that. Interestingly enough, I don't remember the story behind that offhand, but it's something like that. All right, so we build the backpack part first, next, I should say. Unfortunately, not the body quite yet, so we have to wait a little bit. That's kind of the last thing before the weapons, I guess. Adam's walkie-talkie is driving me nuts. This walkie-talkie in Adam's office next door is on low battery, and I keep hearing it beeping. Hopefully you guys can't hear that. Brian's getting tired. Gotta bounce. Probably do a portrait of you one of these days. That's why I was curious. Who did your profile art on Twitter? Oh, sorry if you were asking earlier about who did my profile art on Twitter. Sorry, I didn't get back to you. I forget his name, and I always have difficulty remembering his name because he's a Japanese artist, but it's like I'm sure for a Japanese person, not difficult at all, but for me, as someone who's not used to like Japanese names day in and day out, it's always a difficult name for me to remember. So I'll have to check. But if you are genuinely curious, you can send me a message as a reminder, and I'll check later on and get back to you. If anybody else in the chat knows or can look it up, then feel free to drop that in the chat there. All right. All right, pig blood cake, that's what we call it. No, I've not had that. Let's see. Just always loved the idea of Metal Gear Rex not necessarily being a big mech, but characterized as a nuclear equipment bipedal tank, which I feel gives a nice flavor of realism or practicality. Yeah, I think that's, I mean, it's so unrealistic, like, when you think about it in the game, but I mean, like, the concept of it is, like, sort of makes sense, right? Random thought, but I think the next MGEX will be the Infinite Justice to match the Strike Freedom. You think so? That would be interesting. Can't say that it would be my top pick or anything that I would feel too excited about, but you may be onto something. Although I think that maybe like not the MGEX line, but the MGSD line. It's possible we might see after the Barbatos, maybe the next MGSD would be like the Justice Gundam to go with the MGSD Freedom. I could definitely see that. Very possible. All right, sure. Oh, okay. There's that. And some more polycaps here. PCD. And my Facebook page is getting all the spam attempts today. I'm getting like the messages about like your page violated our terms of service and will be deleted unless you do this. It's like, Yeah, nice try. Nah, I looked at it for a second because I got like the same message like 3 times in a row. Came like one, and then an hour later it came again, and then like an hour later it came again. I was thinking like, is this legit? Really, it really doesn't sound like it's legit. And I Googled it and found out, yeah, it's a scam. And now I see that I'm getting like some other kind of message about, hello admin, it looks like someone accessed your Facebook business and paid an unusual invoice. So, yeah, let me guess. I need to log into my account and provide my details to prove that it's me, right? Sure. Of course. It's crazy. It's crazy to think that like spam stuff like that, not like crazy, like it sucks that that works on people because like it's just bad. It just takes advantage of like especially like older generations. I feel like, you know, people that didn't grow up on computers and on the internet like younger generations did, that would be more susceptible to spam stuff like that. It's terrible. Like I sometimes get the like emails. It's like, here's your invoice from Geek Squad. It's like, I don't know, like Geek Squad hasn't. I mean, I'm sure it's still a thing, but I mean, like that's the kind of thing that like old people use, right? So yeah, it's a shame. Too bad. Got all these little missile doors in here now. So what's up next? Of which there is 8. 4 on each side. All right. People who never got scammed in RuneScape as a kid. Yeah, I hardly like. I barely even know what RuneScape is. I mean, I only like vaguely even know what that is. So that just goes to show. I guess maybe I'm old. Let's see. There's that. And just to kind of skip ahead for a second here, these gold parts. A couple of the few parts in here that are not like a dark blue gray, dark brown, or dark green is these little gold accents there in the backpack. You can hear that signature Kotobukiya creak of these big plastic parts. All right. Let's see. What are your thoughts on MG Astray kits? I think the only one that I've built, I think, is the Astray Blue Frame D. I did just recently build the Astray Outframe, but I feel like that's not necessarily like a good representation of like an MG Astray kit because it's so different. It's more just like an MG seed kit that happens to have Astray in the name. But here's our backpack. But yeah, I think I've only ever built the Blue Frame D, and it's a really cool kit. So yes, they're cool. It's closer to the Testament Gundam, yeah. Yeah. Exactly. All right. How are we on time? We're good. Like, I swear, this whole day has been just kind of messed up. I just need to go to bed. I was mentioning earlier how like I woke up this morning at 6:30 and it felt like it was like 3 a.m. And then all morning I just kind of felt like it was later than it really was. Like, I felt like it was like noon and it's like 10 a.m. And then like now I feel like it's 4 and it's like going to be 5 o'clock soon, but it's like just after 3. You know what it is? I think it's just because of the fact that tomorrow's my son's birthday, and I think I'm just really stressing out about that just because I really want him to like have a fun birthday, especially because like mom's not here. And so I think that's what it is, really, to be honest. It's just kind of what's messing me up a bit. Yep, we figured it out. Yep. Well, the good thing about that is that at least tomorrow, once the birthday comes, once the kids are all playing and having a good time, I can just kind of, hopefully at that point, maybe relax a little bit, because like, once everything's kind of done and put into motion, then like there's nothing really else to do at that point, right? The party's underway, everybody's having fun, and there's nothing else to do, so I guess just look forward to that. All right. Now this part, how does that work? Okay, it's in here kind of like this. Okay. Oh. Okay. H. All right. So that's in there for the backpack. Totally unrelated. Just kind of side tangent here. Let's see. Let me just get this in here in place first, actually, before I go off on that. Okay. Okay. To Tybe. Cruel? Is that right? Am I reading that correctly? Oh, what's going on? Yeah. Kind of interesting side story here. Like sometime last year or something, I don't remember when I watched this movie, but it was a while back. I watched this movie and I remember there being at least like one character, and like part of the story like had something to do like around like a Native American community, and there was a Native American like character in the movie. But I couldn't really remember too much else detail about that, and I don't really know what it was that kind of reminded me of the movie. But it was later on, after seeing the movie, that I was thinking like, oh, what was that movie that had like a Native American character in it, and I liked it, and I thought I remember it being interesting, and I wanted to like remember what it was. Like I couldn't remember like anything else about the movie other than that. And I don't really know like what even made me think of it, but I was trying to remember what it was, and I was like Googling like movies like with Native American actors or movies about Native Americans and things like that, and of course it's like coming with all these different results, but not what I was looking for. I just could not find it. And then interestingly, last night I was working on a different kit, not this, just working on a couple other different kits at home. And I was just looking on Netflix, and I put on a movie, and I still don't know what the title of it is. Unfortunately, I can't even tell you what the title is because our Netflix is set to Korean, so I know what the Korean title is, but I know the American title is different. But like the Korean title, like translated, is like it means like it's really the end, kind of like that, and it's like a post-apocalypse kind of movie, like it's like a disaster kind of movie, right? But yeah, so I just put on this movie, not really knowing what it was, and once the movie, like as soon as the movie starts, I'm thinking like this is familiar. I think I've seen this before. And then once it gets a little bit further along, and there's a Native American character in it, and I realized like this is the movie that I was trying to think of like 6 months ago. Like, oh yeah, all right. And yeah, I can see why I maybe wasn't able to find it when I was searching for it before, because like the fact that the character is Native American, like it's obvious and like it's pointed out a few times, but like that's not what the movie is like about at all. So that's probably a good reason why I was just not able to find it when I was looking for it before. But I will try to see if I can real quick like look up what the English title for it was. But maybe if one of you guys know, it had Forrest Whitaker in it, so that would be an easy way to find out. Just look for like Forrest Whitaker movies. And it was like, yeah, like a disaster kind of movie, and I actually didn't even finish it. I was watching last night, but I had to go to bed. I had Forrest Whitaker, and it was like something happening, and I don't even remember how the movie ends. So I watched it sometime at some point last year, and then last night I didn't make it to the ending, and I just don't remember how it ends. But American Sasquatch? No, I don't think that's it. It's not that. It's nothing about Sasquatches in it. Let's see. I'm gonna look here in a minute just because now I'm like, it's gonna bother me trying to think of what it was. What it's called. Okay, that must be this side, like that. How It Ends. Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah. There you go. How It Ends. Not bad movie. I said I don't remember how it ends. I don't. Yeah. Anyway, I don't remember how the film ends. So I need to, maybe tonight I'll finish watching it again and remind myself. If I remember correctly, I think I remember the ending of the movie, and it's without spoiling anything. I don't know if any of you guys are like gonna go watch it, but as far as I can remember, I think it ends on just kind of like a cliffhanger, or it's like one of those like unresolved endings, which I'm totally fine with. There's a lot of people. This is why, like, I think like open-ended endings are great sometimes. There's certainly like great movie endings that have like an open ending, which I'm all for. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people who don't like that, so I think that's why a lot of filmmakers like and like movie studios, more accurately, are a little bit more nervous to do open endings on films, just because a lot of people will not like it. So I understand that, but yeah, if I remember correctly, I think kind of somewhat ironically, just because of the title of the movie, How It Ends has a kind of open ending, which I remember feeling like a little bit disappointed with, even though I generally wouldn't really mind that, or even like it in some instances. But yeah. All right, so our body is done. We still have the weapons to do. I'm just kind of going ahead and putting the body together with everything here, because we can. it's gonna take a little bit of finagling to get everything all lined up properly. So bear with me for a moment. I don't like open ending because I've never seen one that would be worse if it was actually conclusive. I take your point, yeah, where you think like if they would have just had it in like a proper conclusion, that would have made the movie worse. You're saying like that those type of examples just don't really exist. I'm not sure. I don't know. I mean, like, there's certainly bad endings to movies, but yeah, I mean, like, it's a fair point. How often is the movie ruined by a bad ending? I mean, like, there's some movies, yeah, where you can maybe like the majority of the movie and just find the ending not really very satisfying. Sure. I don't know. Hey, arrived late. Does this build contain any rubbery polycaps? It does have polycaps, yes. There's a handful of them, not a ton. There is a few here and there. Before I get to the weapons, I just want to put the parts for the base stand together here first, real quick. Just have to bite it. Yeah, I'll have to finish watching that. I also, oops, did I do that part wrong? I did. Does it matter? That's probably doesn't matter. Okay, I'm just gonna say it does not matter. It's worse the same. Anyway, I started watching that movie, and I also started watching another movie that I also have not finished. I did like the same thing 2 nights in a row with 2 different movies. The other one I also don't know the English title for though. Or maybe I do. Hang on, what is this? Tides, I guess. It's another kind of like sci-fi space movie. Can you make OG Rex by just buying a damaged version, or is there parts missing? Yeah, as far I'm 99.9% certain that you can make the original Rex with the damaged version kit. Yes. I have not done it myself, and the manual doesn't give you instructions on how to do it, but just looking at the runners, like the runner list at the beginning of the manual, all the runners to make the original Rex are there. So it's possible that like there's some part missing. I don't think so though. I think that everything's there, and you should be able to make the original Rex. Yes. But I'm just trying to think of some like some open-ended endings in movies as like some examples. I actually can't really think of too many at the moment off the top of my head. Kind of the only one that's immediately coming to mind is Lost in Translation, just because I was just talking to somebody about the movie earlier. And even that, it's I guess it's like an open ending, sort of. I feel like it's kind of concluded. Here's our main kit here. I'll show you guys. Just need to put the weapons together, but Would you guys consider Lost in Translation an open ending or not? I feel like that's difficult to say. Datamouth, though, thank you so much for the super chat there. Really, really appreciate that. What did you say here? Hey, Zaku, how are you doing? Question, I would like to make my own water decals for a kit I'm working on. Do you know if there's a place that can make custom decals or a way to make them at home? You can make them at home. I've not ever tried it, and I think you have to get a certain type of paper, of course, the decal like paper that you can print on, and then you do also have to have Bill Cosby is answering the question for you as well, but you have to. It only works with a certain type of printer. So he says buy decal transfer paper for custom prints, spray with a clear top coat so you can cut them out later. You can look into it online. I've never done it. When I've needed custom decals in the past for myself, I was able to get them from Samuel Decal, but I know he doesn't do that anymore. He used to, but he doesn't. So I haven't needed any for a long time. Although, yeah, if I knew of someone and the service was available, and like, anyway, if I knew someone who could do it, I mean, maybe it's something that I would take advantage of more often, but as far as I know, the only person that I know that did it doesn't do it anymore. So I just haven't really looked into it. Sorry to say. Are you planning on building the Metal Gear Ray kit? I have already built and reviewed that kit, actually. I did not live build it, but I don't think so. Did I? Actually, maybe I did. I think I did, actually. I think I did. I feel like I did. All right. The ones I make specifically needed laser printers. Yeah. I know that you need a certain type of printer. Are you planning? Let's see. I already just read that. Friday the 13th, I think, has one. Friday the 13th has an open ending, you say? I'm sure I have seen it, but to be honest, I'm not like a big horror movie person. Not for a handful, but there's a lot that I've not seen. Actually, one of the few horror movies that I've actually... Ooh, that's not good. That I've actually seen more than once. That I've actually like intentionally gone out of my way to watch multiple times is Sleepaway Camp, I think is the title of it, right? It's just like really interesting, kind of really cheesy 80s kind of horror movie, but with a very interesting kind of twist at the end. So I enjoyed it. But yeah, I'm not a big horror movie person. What's the other movie? Cabin in the Woods, is that right? With Chris Evans? No, that's not the right one. Thor. What is it? Yeah, that's another one that I've seen a couple times. Cabin in the Woods? I think that's right? It's another pretty interesting one. Indeed. Ah, okay. Yeah, these are slightly different here, so that's why that was not working. For some reason, these parts are very slightly different. That's that one. And on the other side is this one. TJ says, Chris Hemsworth. Yeah, thank you. And TJ says, watching Cabin in the Woods tonight. There you go. Yeah, it's a pretty good one. I like the kind of science fiction aspect to it, right? Which I guess probably a lot of horror movies have. But I mean, like, compared to something like, I don't know, like, one of those Rob Zombie horror movies or something like that. Okay, where's this tiny little dark blue piece hiding out in there? Okay. Oh no, these even tinier little pieces here. Oops. Yikes. These small little pieces are difficult. And where's this? All right. Hi, Zach. How's your day been going so far? Ranma, my day has been going fine. Yep. After wrapping this up, I need to get out of here and go pick up the kids and go do some grocery shopping. Fun. Because, yep, birthday tomorrow, so we've got stuff to do. And I should have made sure that this is the right part, but I'm guessing that it is because that part goes on there. So just about done here. This is the railgun for the one side that we're building here first, and then we'll get to the other side. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, that's not the right side for that. Okay. It would be nice if it just didn't even fit. If it was not the right part, it should just not even fit on there. That'd be easier, but there we go. Then, okay, we're gonna put this on top of here first. And we're not even done with that. There's little cat pieces that go on the end, which are nowhere to be found. And oh, they're there. Whew. Had me really worried that I was gonna have to look on the runner like maybe I had forgotten to cut the pieces off again, but not the case. Yeah. We'll do that. Okay. We got this part here. Should have done the weapons first, to be honest. See, I forgot that these are kind of tedious in their construction, especially this part here for the railgun. Would have been a smart idea to do these earlier. That's gonna go in there. And this one in here. Like that. All right, so what are you guys up to today? Just as can do like kind of some house cleaning bits here as we're getting close to the end of this build. I won't be here tomorrow because my son's birthday, so there won't be any video tomorrow. But on Friday, I'll be here, and there will be a USA Gundam TV live stream on Friday. So look out for the post regarding that if you guys want to enter in the giveaway. The giveaway prize for this episode is Adam just came and dropped it off earlier in the stream here for me, is the MG Clear Color Dynamis, which I know we've given one of those away before, but that's what we've got here for this episode as well. So yeah, just look out for the post for that if you guys want to enter. That's not what I need. This one here. Okay. Other than that, yeah, new contest. I said that I will announce the new contest this week. I don't think that it's going to be ready by Friday. I feel very bad that I keep putting that off, but you know, it's a lot of work putting the contest together, and it takes a lot of planning and everything. So, you know, I want everything to be ready. And so, yeah. Contest announcements, like basically everything, like all the details are basically sorted, and it's just a matter of like preparing the announcement itself, which is you know, pretty straightforward, I guess, but just want to make sure that everything's prepared so that everything can be rolled out smoothly and we don't have any issues. So contest announcement will be very soon. So unfortunately, though, I think probably not going to be ready for this Friday, but I'll try. I can promise that. Oh, okay. Let's see. I liked the quick fixes with your GWitch reviews. Any quick tips for the MG Barbatos off the top of your head? For the MG Barbatos? Oh man, I don't know. I mean, nothing really. I think that would immediately come to mind. It's harder for an MG kit because they usually don't. Anything that you would want to fix on an MG kit, there's like less of that. Like on HG kits, just because of the nature of HG kits, they lend themselves better to quick fixes because they're just kind of simpler kits. Simpler kits, and so like in order to fix small things about them, you can usually find, you know, little things that can be fixed with, you know, fairly small amount of effort. Compared to MG kits, it's much less so the case. All right, so I think we're finally done with that. Okay. Whew. Let's see. Don't most of the RG Zakus, what was that? Don't most of the RG Zakus break that rule already? What's that rule? What's the rule? I don't know. Anyway. I was considering painting the inside of my MG Barbatos clear parts with chrome paint. Would that be a good idea? It's not, I mean, like, whether it's a good idea or not is completely subjective. It's not something that I would do. I would not use chrome. I mean, like, it's a clear color kit you're talking about, right? So I understand wanting to paint the frame and leave the armor in clear color. I would not go with chrome. I think I would go with something not quite so like over the top, and go, you know, with just like some nice, just kind of more kind of grounded, realistic kind of colors, some gray or something. I guess if you wanted to go like metallic with it, just sort of like I don't know, like a kind of gunmetal color or something, but I'm not sure really, to be honest. That's a tricky one. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of just like straight up chrome though, for me personally. Hey, wait a minute. Here we go. Gunmetal gray. I mean, like, if it's me, I would make it like just different shades of gray, really. I wouldn't even have any kind of metallics at all, just because I'm just not a fan. For me personally, so like, let's just look at any of like my painted builds. I usually don't ever use any metallics. So I wouldn't use that, but probably just like a kind of tan gray kind of color, what I would typically normally use for an MG's inner frame, or any kit inner frame. That's what I would use for that. If it was me. Okay. These. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Just about done here. It's nice to be almost done with this section, just because I don't have to spend so much time looking for the part. It was kind of a lot of parts to have all kind of spread out all at once. So now that it's just the last few parts left, it's much easier to find what I'm looking for. I guess whoever that was that told me that building in the way that I build was a bad idea, I guess they were right. That crunch. Okay. And wait a minute. That goes like that. This one here. And the longer fin, let's see, well, this probably only goes on there one way, so that goes onto there. And this one on here. And these ones together. All right. Oops. Last couple little parts here and we'll be done. So I can show you guys what our finished result looks like here. Oops, that's upside down. And there's our finished radome unit. Okay. That's it. And we're set. Let me just kind of zoom out a little bit. Maybe not that much. That's fine. There's something like that. There's our finished result. It's pretty cool looking. My railgun parts are like, because of these really long, thin parts, a bit warped or something, I guess, that they come to a point. They shouldn't do that. I feel like my other my other Rex kit did the same thing. I feel like I think I'm gonna like stick something in between there to try to have those bent out a little bit. Yeah. Let's see if this will work. Yeah. Just some paper towel. It looks so bland without paint. I mean, yeah. But I think that's kind of like the point of this kit, right? Let's see if this is enough. Yeah, this will be good. Maybe. Let's see. Needs to not only hold it open, but it needs to. Yeah, I'm just gonna like leave that in there for like the next couple days, and then when I come back, hopefully that's enough to like have the plastic kind of straightened out a bit. It just stays like that for a while. So he's just got a makeshift silencer kind of muzzle there on the end of the railgun. That's all it is. And my neighbor is calling me. So I won't rush to wrap up the stream. I'm just going to put you guys on mute here for a second. Okie dokie. All right, so yeah, that's about it for the stream today. Thanks for checking it out. Yeah, I mean, it is going to be a bit bland out of the box. I mean, to be honest, the original kit is probably even more bland because it's just like all just that medium gray. At least I think this is like honestly a bit more kind of stylish looking, just due to the fact that it's kind of all black. So I honestly kind of think that it looks kind of even more cool than like the regular gray version. Just because the color is quite so unique anyway. So I like it. But yeah, let me know your guys' thoughts. I'll do a review for it. And I'll have to locate my Rex. I think I know where it is at home. My regular one. And see if I can do a comparison for you guys, having them side by side in the review. But that'll be beginning of next week. It won't be before the weekend, that's for sure. But look forward to that beginning of next week. And like I said, tune into the USA Gundam TV live stream on Friday morning or whatever time that is for wherever you are in the world. But Adam and I will be answering questions and hanging out. So tune in then. For now, guys, thanks for hanging out for today's stream, and we'll see you all later. Have a good rest of your Wednesday. Yeah. Bye, guys.